Hey there, beautiful souls. Just Intuitive Angel Healer here with your grounded guide to the spiritually awakened survivors of the toxic shadows. Welcome to my new YouTube channel and updated podcast channel, Spoken Like an Angel, Enlightenment for Survivors, where my prophetic words are meant to help stimulate so you can raise your vibe and elevate. Thank you so much for being here today. Today is September 10th, 2023, and today's episode is episode number 66. You are the red pill to the matrix. Keep speaking your truth, chosen ones. So definitely you're going to want to tune into this message if you are a light worker, spiritual worker, even a tarot card reader, because not everybody that does readings has a religion or a faith. They have their own little spirituality that they are in. But God really wanted me to come on here today to let you guys know that there doesn't have to be such a division between the faith of religion and the faith of spirituality, because ultimately the common bonding word is faith. And that's why people like myself are embarking on this lightworker journey that I never thought I would be on, but here I am. And I've always known I've had a good, decent, wholesome soul. Like, because there's just some things I was pushed into, if I've ever done them, I never wanted to truly, they didn't intrigue me. It was like I was around so many narcissists, they said, you better do this or else. And if you don't understand abuse or you've never been around abuse, you would say, well, I wouldn't listen and I would walk away. But when you're not healed and you're in abuse, that thought doesn't cross your mind, because the only thought that crosses your mind in that moment. And my other survivors, definitely drop a purple heart in the comment section if you're feeling this already, because I am a survivor of the toxic shadows. What is the toxic shadows? The toxic shadows is that dark place that we all go to, that place of where we had to survive our abuse, where we had to learn our most roughest lessons that we've had out there. Some of our darkest moments are in the toxic shadows. That's where addiction lives. That's where you play out all these things. But God really wants me to get up here and let you know, just because you are in those toxic shadows or you're coming out of them because you're chosen by God. You're God's chosen one. So I don't care if you're in the projects, if you're in $1 million home, if you're in a trailer. It doesn't matter where you come from, because God is using you for a purpose. Because there's a lot of stereotypes that humans like to put on people for you to not succeed out there. And that is what my job as a light worker is, because my parents never owned an actual house. I actually lived in a trailer my whole life. They owned it. But most people say, oh, so you're like 8 Mile. No, not everybody that lives in a trailer is like 8 Mile, okay? Not every poor person means they're sold their soul to the devil. And that's where we really need to get this division out here of thinking just because it's like judging a book by its cover. Because I have seen some covers be judged, and their true colors are about to be revealed right now. And so many people didn't believe the person because of what they look like. And they're like, you must have done it. Look at you. Look at how you think. Well, that person thinks that way because they've been stuck in an environment where they couldn't think any other different way because they were shunned. And at 444, I'm saying this, they had to camouflage and fit in. So some of you are out there, you're trauma survivors. You're really not a bad soul. You just got in the toxic. You took in so much toxic that you became toxic. And it was almost like I'm hearing it was a fight or flight pattern. It was like a coping mechanism. That's how you survived your whole life. But now, if you are resonating with this, you know, if God's been speaking to you lately, He wants you to know that that part of your life is forgivable as long as you've taken accountability and fallen on your knees and repented and stopped doing it. Because you can't pray to God. You can, but it's inefficient, is what He's saying. It's like going to church. This is a lot of people stop going to church because, for one, they'd see the preacher was out doing bad things behind on the weekend, or you get people who drank and fornicated, did all kinds of crazy stuff, and then they're like, I'm just going to go to church and it's going to all be forgiven. Well, it will all be forgiven, but like, is that how we're going to use God? And that's kind of how a lot of us use God. We only pray to Him when they need it. Now, not the chosen ones, because maybe you have been guilty of that. Hey, I've been at a point where I lost my faith when I was in my 20s because a lot of stuff happened. God got me to understand who He was when I was 19, and I got in a car wreck because I didn't stand up for myself, and a narcissist made me give her the keys to the vehicle I was in, and she drove 100 miles an hour, weaving in and out of traffic in Atlanta, Georgia, and flipped us over 3 times. And that's why my elbows permanently messed up. That was my karma for not standing up for myself, because I was supposed to drive because that girl didn't have a license, but she was my magazine manager at the time, and I was a month new on this magazine crew. So when your boss says, give me the keys, what am I going to say? I'm the new girl. No, you can't have the keys. 707, that means have strength. 7 is the number of faith, and when you see 707, it means to have strength and stop matching energy. But know that if I see, and that was my lesson to learn, because I hadn't been standing up for myself. I was newly out of Albuquerque in 2000. And this is when I got in the car wreck. I had been on there for like a month. I didn't know these people. And then what was crazy is after I got in that car wreck, do you know, everybody told me it was my fault because I gave her the keys. Even my manager told me it was my fault because I gave her the keys. And I was like, I guess it is my fault. But wow, there's no sympathy, empathy, that your boss, your manager, was such a bully that she made the new girl give her the keys to a vehicle. And because we got in a wreck, now it all turned around. It was my fault. And because I was so young, I never even filed charges or anything. And I got treated horrible because I went to the worst hospital in the world. If you know, you know. I don't know how that hospital's still out there. All I know is I got wheeled in there on a Saturday night and got left with the wolves. Yeah. Anywho, diddly, let me know if that resonates with you, beautiful souls. I have this message, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because I keep hearing London Bridge is falling down, and it's like that part in the movie when everybody at the beginning did all the dirt, and it was fun, everybody partied, everybody had a good time, but now it's like everything started coming down and people started telling on people and this and that, but then nobody wants to take blame, and they just want to point fingers. And God's really doing some humbling right now. He says you can't run away from karma. There were choices to be made. You made your choices. 913, as I say that, forgive yourself for being toxic. God loves you. Repent and ask for forgiveness. And especially if you're a chosen one and you were caught up, say you may have had a toxic past, because we were all karmic. I don't judge anyone. Not everybody who is in the darkness is a bad soul, okay? Because I was one of the earth angels that was in the darkness. If you've ever seen Touched by an Angel, there's an episode where one of the angels comes down to be like a foster mom or something, but she gets caught up in the matrix and she forgets that she's an angel, and she's fighting all these human battles, and they're like, you're an angel. I know you love that little boy, but you gotta let him go because he's a part of the human experience. And once she does that, she becomes an angel again and gets her powers and can finish off her mission. 1011 as I say that. So it's really important right now. There's a lot of hatred coming because people are, it's always like if you have kids, it's all fun and games till you get caught, right? Okay, well, when you get caught, you're not gonna take accountability for it, and that's what they're doing. So if people want to say that you're doing this and that, you can remind yourself. You don't have to match energy. There's no matching energy, but just remind yourself so you don't take it personally that they were the ones doing graveyard magic. I've never heard of any of this stuff, guys. Like, I don't do magic. I had to actually go get myself educated on it because there's so much crazy magic coming from these karmics, and I'm like, what are the symptoms? And it's like all of a sudden, you just got headaches out of nowhere. And I knew it was coming because I'm getting pains on the side of my body versus the other side of my body where I should have pain. And if you're just getting weird stuff and you're feeling drained, yeah, I had to learn about all of this. And I'm learning though that first of all, God's in charge, and if God tells one of the demons to stop, guess what? That demon has to always obey God. 11:31, as I say that, and 11:34. Hello, from heaven. You need to stop giving your power to the darkness. The darkness is big, bad, and scary, I guess. Because we were there. But then once you wake up out of that, because you're starting to wake up out of the matrix, and that's why you are the red pill to the matrix. I just heard somebody last night who's another reader. She was a Lightworker reader, and she was talking about the gifts that we have. And a lot of people aren't going to understand you, but a lot of you were here to enlighten people. 1212, as I say that, you weren't here to make friends here. If you're not popular here in the 3D world, guess what? You're super popular in the 5D. But this is not always the place to come and make besties, because some of these people, it's like you're being of service. You're staying on your path because you're true to God. And if you've wandered off your path, I've wandered off my path. I went down the wrong road. But it was the lesson that I never learned in my past life. God will let you go off that path, that road for so long, and he will snatch you up. And that's when you're having your spiritual awakening. That's why you could have went to prison, you could have gotten shenanigans and all that and have a record, and you're still out here holding the Bible preaching, because he doesn't condemn you. He only condemns you to your choices. Okay, so it's like, it's not that he gives up on you. It's like, if the karmics right now, God will always answer you no matter what. But if you have clearly shown that you're going to walk on earth and you're going to be mightier than God, and you're going to prove it by God telling you to stop it and showing you visible signs, and you're like, yeah, I do what I want, I'm Cartman, and you keep doing it, there's consequences for your actions, good or bad. There's always going to be a result of what you put out in the universe. So God is going to let you do what you want to do. You have free will. But when he says, do this and stop, and you don't listen, that's when you get consequences. And it's not that he will take you back, but he's going to put you in a period of cool down to make you think about it. So it's like, he'll let the devil take you, sold your soul to the devil. He's going to, like at 14:14, you sold your soul to the devil. He's going to let the devil take your soul for 20-30 years. You wanted it, you got it, because maybe you need to know what it is to wake up and have no one to help you, because the darkness don't help. That's what the whole lesson is. And it may not even be 20-30 years. It depends on how much evil you've consumed in your heart. So when these karmics are coming down and trying to get everybody for the millionth time on their flying monkey brigade to feel bad for them, my empathy, like, People have visibly passed, and I'm sorry if I'm a Pisces, first of all, I'm a light worker, angel worker, and I've lost that empathy, that sympathy, any of that for you. You did something that is so ratchet, only God can forgive you now. 15-15 as I say that. So stop condemning the light workers for finally standing up for themselves. God is saying this. And light workers, you don't condemn yourself for these karmics actions. I'm sorry that you decided to put evil in your heart. I'm sorry that you decided that money was more important than family and you wanted to live your best life. I don't even know how you're living your best life, because the things that I've been hearing that the karmics are doing, like, I don't even want to repeat them on here because they're that bad. 1555, as I say that, they're that ratchet and low, guys. Like, I'm going to make this shirt. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. God wants you to know that. They really want you to know that this is a test. And just because you are able to go out there and go to Vegas and do whatever craziness you want to do, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, cool. But later on down the road, when you're done playing in the land of immorality, because we've all played there, do you want to live there, or do you want to play there? That's the thing. And some of these karmics have done things that you can't even just say you dibble dabbled and stuff. You just went and dived right on into the city of Pandora's box and disgustingness, like vulgarness, guys. I'm not even talking about, because I'm not prude, and I believe in a healthy sexual appetite, but I do not believe in the things and the grossness that I have heard and seen. 1707 again, I just saw. So Spirit really wants me to have this message. It wasn't all your fault. Heavy magic was being used. There's a lot of sex magic, beauty magic, graveyard magic. Like, these are heavy, heavy things. And if you're a light worker and you've survived these, high five. You know why? Because you carry the light of God. And I've always told people, this is my theory, is that God, this is what, like, I've been understood by my spirit team, is that God puts our gifts in our heart chakra, and the more that we enlighten our heart chakra, the more you're going to have your ability to tap into your spiritual gifts. If you are not willing to let go of the perversions of man, and that's what you have to hold on to, if you have to drink for the rest of your life and you can't just let it go and say, I've did that, I'm cool now, then you aren't going to be a chosen one. You're not probably going to tap into your gifts either, because we all have spiritual psychic gifts. Everybody can do even what I do, but it depends if you're going to give your life to God. It's not even it's give your life to the higher power, the source, but the pure higher power of good and love and light. That's what you're giving it. Because I don't want to put God on it, except puts a title, because it's taken me almost 6 years of really just studying about God to even be able to give you my point of view on it, because it's a touchy subject. Because I was raised up, unfortunately, by a lot of really closed-minded Church of Christ Christians and Catholics and just religious people who wanted to always put me in a box and tell me I wasn't good enough, but yet they always come to me for help, but tell me I'm evil on the other end. And 1919, evil, I don't think people have been around true evil if they think that I'm evil. Because let me tell you, true evil are the people that I have been around that in 1 second have looked at me and picked me up with a hand and almost taken my life, that have almost taken my last breath. Trigger warning, I apologize. I'm just saying there's evil out there, and the karmics right now, y'all are evil. y'all aren't even just karmic-y. Like, there's karmics that, you did some bad things. No, this is pure evil, and God's coming to cleanse it. And he really wanted me to get up here and speak on this today. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you are resonating with this, because it's not fair. The beautiful empaths, my beautiful survivors out there, man or woman, I'm seeing you. You're kind people. You're loving souls, and you've done the worst thing you might have done is maybe got a little inebriated one night and made some bad choices. But you've learned. You put in your work. You got to forgive yourself. Have faith in your values. Keep having the faith in your values, because God's going to show you luck is on your side when you let the magic happen, is what I'm hearing. I have, I am a medium too. So not only just an angel intuitive, but I'm a medium. And I have my friend Jerome in spirit. He was 16. I was told his life was taken by the hands of himself in Albuquerque in 1999, and he's telling me, no, it's like Ghost, a literal movie of Ghost over here. He's like, nope, I didn't take myself. I wouldn't have done that. 21. So there's something happened. I don't know. There's a whole group of people that he was hanging out with. Somebody got in an argument about something, and we all know how that goes. But he has a song for you. And if this is a similar situation, here's a song for whoever else is taking somebody out at an early age and really just took away their longevity, because 16 was way too young to have his life taken. He keeps playing this song, Game Been Good to Me by UGK, and he says, you lost your cars and your house, now you sleep on your mama's couch, but the game been good to me. Made you deal with the devil, but you sold your soul. You ran a lot of cars, ran a mansion and them hoes. You say you sold your phantom, they took your roles. Get disrespected everywhere you go. Big bodyguards when you come for the shows. But the game's been good to me. And he's also the song Here We Go Again from DMX, and he keeps saying, here we go again. Same old stuff, dog, just a different day. Here we go again. Yeah. So there you go. I was like, I share these because they keep playing it. I don't listen to. I used to listen to all that back in the day, 2000s. But I was interesting. I was like, I don't even listen to UGK, but yeah, he wanted you to know that that's probably part of the karmics that's going down, because he wasn't very happy that he missed out on his whole life. And this was like something stupid over like a girl or over something really petty. It wasn't even worth it. He was like set up. And it haunted me for years, because I was like, it just didn't seem right. He just didn't seem like that type person, and he wasn't. So I don't know. The truth will always come out, because Buddha said 3 things can't be hidden: the moon, the sun, and the truth. So today is 910. Angel number, Spirit wants me to let you know that angel number 910, if you've been seeing it, symbolizes new beginnings, new opportunities, positive affirmations, and positive change. And it can indicate that your celestial guides are with you, and they want to help you through whatever challenges you're facing in your situation or your life right now. And then also I saw angel number 1034, which is a powerful reminder that when we stay true to ourselves, use our creativity, and trust our intuition, anything is possible. This is a sign you're on the right path and have the courage to pursue your passions and make positive changes in your life. It's definitely a sign of new beginnings. So you need to put extra focus towards your creative endeavors so you can make sure you're manifesting your long-time success. Your long-term success is what I'm hearing. So Spirit really wants you to know that you were chosen to make a difference. You were not chosen to fit in. So 2525, it's not about the likes and the shares and all that. It's about getting God's message out there, or whatever message that's in your heart. I don't want to put God as just a title, because some people call it source, some people call it universe, some people call it Mother Earth, Father Earth. It doesn't matter what you call it, as long as it's of a higher love and light vibration is what I'm hearing. Spirit also wanted me to have you, I was watching another reader the other day, because they've been popping up, these readers, but they're in the realm of being a prophet too. And I'm hearing look up, she said look up what the name of the meaning of your name is, right? And so I looked up what the meaning of my name was, and it's Jesse, and the popularity of it for naming your kid is like 345, so not too bad. It's a Hebrew origin, and it means the Lord exists. This is literally why I got named Jesse, because it's in the Bible. Jesse is a gender-neutral baby name of Hebrew origin. If you intend to raise baby religiously, you may appreciate the meaning the Lord exists. In the Hebrew Bible, Jesse, or Isai, is first recognized in the Old Testament. Jesse was known as the father of King David and a sheep farmer in the heart of Bethlehem. It's also believed that the phrase root of Jesse was commonly used to describe David and the rest of their large family tree. In Hebrew baby names, the meaning of the name Jesse is wealthy. Jehovah exists, the father of King David in the Old Testament. So with a name like Jesse, baby can carry the joy of their faith and family wherever they go. It's also associated with the Hebrew name Yishai, which means gift. Yishai. So definitely look up your name today, because then I also found this, because you were named. Your name is not an accident. Even your license plate number is not an accident. It means something in numerology. So I came across this. I've never heard of this in my life. It's called the Jesse tree. And this is on stmargaretmary.org. It's a Catholic church, and they were talking about the Jesse tree. A Jesse tree is either a real tree or a representation of one, decorated with symbols which mark the journey from the creation of the world to the birth of Christ. The symbols represent the ancestral characters depicted in the Jewish scriptures and the Gospels. The tree is a common symbol throughout Scripture, most memorably featured in the fall of Adam and Eve. Jesus used images of trees, vines, and branches to explain the power and life of God. Jesse was the father of King David. Thus, in its most original form, the Jesse tree illustrates Jesus' human royal lineage from King David down to Mary. It's shown the fulfillment of God's promise of a miracle to the childless Abraham and Sarah, that although both of them were nearing 100 years old, kings of peoples shall come from her. Genesis 17:16. A Jesse tree is especially used for helping children to enter into the spirit of Advent, a spirit of expectant, joyful longing for the God who loves and saves us. It is an engaging way to impart knowledge of our salvation history and momentous place of Jesus' birth within it. Thus, while the Jesse tree is about the journey of the people of God, it also sheds light on our own life journey. It connects us more deeply to the scripture, which through Christ never fails to reveal himself to us here and now. A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. From his roots, a branch will bear fruit. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and of understanding, the Spirit of counsel and of power, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. And he will delight in the fear of the Lord. He will not judge by what he sees with his eyes or decide what he hears with his ears. But with righteousness he will judge the needy with justice. He will give decisions for the poor of the earth. Isaiah 11, verses 1 through 4. A branch is a sign of new life and new beginnings. Jesus was a descendant of King David, and Christians believe that Jesus is this new branch. The first Jesse trees were large carvings, tapestries, or even stained glass windows put in churches that helped illiterate people to learn about the Bible from creation to the Christmas story. And then there's directions on how to make a Jesse tree. And I'm getting emotional because that whole thing, I'm reading this because for all my little 3111, as I say that, for all my little karmic people who like to just keep inserting themselves into my life, that's why God named me Jesse. So I want you to remember that, because I am a Jesse tree. I am a gift. I bear fruit. The blessings that I get, I don't just share them with myself, I share them with everyone. And God really wants you to know that you're being humbled right now, because some of you picked of the Jesse fruit, the Jesse tree, and you ate the forbidden fruit. God told you not to eat off of my tree. He told you not to steal fruit off my tree, and you did anyways. And that is why God is humbling you, and I'm not. And I'm not going to. And you can continue to throw this hate and try to do all these things. But I'm going to continue to be here, because I did not make it out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and make it to 40 years of my life to give up. And I won't, and I never will. And for those of you who knew me before I became an influencer, before I became a podcaster, before I became this holistic healer, I was simply a medical assistant. I was a CNA. I was the person that you could call up at 3 o'clock in the morning and tell me that a friend died. I was a person you could show up and you needed $100 and I gave it to you with no questions asked. And these are the same people that I gave without one question being asked, and they took. And they didn't just take, they took, and they tried to shame me with my own gift. But thank you, Karmics. You made me stronger. You made me wiser. I'm hearing the song from Christina Aguilera. Just wanted to say thank you for making me a fighter, because you know what? I wasn't strong enough. I was weak in other past lives. This past life, this here and now, I'm not. And I am the vessel that carries God's love and light. And for those who judge me, then you're not standing in the love and light, because my job is to come here to spread love and light and to help my other fellow light workers out there get on board so we can get to this next 5D consciousness and have this 3D consciousness be a way thing of the past, because changes are coming. And I'm getting a little emotional here because sometimes it does, I'll just say this about Karmics. I just feel sorry for you that you're so deep in the hate of the devil that you can't find the love of the Lord. Because if you wonder why I don't look like what I've went through, it's because I've given my life to God, and I've always given my life to God. I was just really confused, and I've had a lot of narcissists around me to really program me to basically just make me think that God didn't love me. And that was my test, is to really get intentional with God. And I've been stripped of everything to get right with God, and I am okay with it. And it's funny that the Jesse tree is about the garden of Adam and Eve, because that was my thing. I have toxic karmic family members who have the Jezebel spirit. I've never had that, but boy, they've sure tried to push that Jezebel spirit on me so they can shame me, so they can make me stay in this toxic shadow. And I'm saying this not so you feel bad for me. So somebody else who is in the same thing, you're not crazy, you're intuitive. Keep getting up there, keep pushing out. Like I said, there's a message on my last podcast about if you're in prison and you're wrongfully indicted, or you know someone who's wrongfully indicted, start praying to God. God's going to be releasing some people out of there, but he needs to have them. You can't fake it with God. You can't say, I'm on your side, God, and wink, wink, and close your cross your fingers. You can't do that with God. So I'm not going to put the reading on here because this has been a long one. 3606. This is all about relationships and forgiveness. I'm going to upload the reading in a separate, so I don't have to feel like I got to push it out, because it's a very good message for my light workers. So, and Archangel Michael, it's all about surrendering your battles. Heaven's got a message for you, and forgiveness. Have faith in your values. It's about to pay off for you. You don't need, if you've been doing the right thing, don't feed into the illusion of the devil, because it's about to all come unraveled. God gave people a false sense of security. That's why it's so treacherous right now, because they were like, hey, look, I didn't get any consequences. I'll keep doing it. No, that's not how we work. And that's why you're getting humbled right now. So if that's you, I hope you find God. And if it's not you, pick your crown up and look forward ahead, because God's coming in with the Calvary for you. I promise you. And definitely drop in the comments. Let me know if this is, I'm hearing at least 20 people this resonates with. So I just saw 3717. The song is Everybody Knows. And this is a song that has literally been playing in my head for the past 3 days. Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys got crossed. I don't like it. It says good guys got lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Go listen to that song if you need justice. It's actually off of Justice League. It's a song by Sigrid. So definitely tune into this Lightworker message that I have for you. Somebody's a plant empath or writer out there. Definitely check into that message. I'll go more into it. Let me give you the names. And definitely let me know how this message resonates with you. So the letters are DXJO DZIWHUQS, and then Susie Q, Cindy Lou, Mindy, Jojo, Marley, Lenny, Lonnie, Bonnie. Then I heard Jim Jones, and then Jim, John, David, Lynx, Penny, Eva Longoria, and then all the people off of Friends. So that's Chandler, Phoebe, all of them, all the Friends characters. So definitely let me know how this resonates. Don't give up today. Things are going to change. Get prepared today is what I'm hearing. So your angels love you. I love you. And God definitely loves you. Don't give up today. Have a beautiful day.